Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the third annual Christmas Ball, hosted by East Alabama Medical Center Foundation. Tonight, we welcome you from Matheson Interiors. As we come together virtually, we are continuing to practice social distancing guidelines. So cozy up, sit back, and enjoy tonight's event. EAMC Foundation would like to thank all of our sponsors who helped make tonight possible. I also want to give a big thank you to everyone who has donated items for our silent auction, like our spa packages, our amazing trips, fine dining, delicious wines, and exquisite jewelry, and so much more. Christmas is a time for being together, and we hope you are sharing it with your family and loved ones. When families welcome a new baby, it's a joyous occasion, but sometimes life doesn't go as planned, and newborns come into the world prematurely and with critical care needs.
Speaking of taking care of premature babies, donations from this event will help keep those babies closer to home. Funds will be used to renovate the Level 2 nursery to become a Level 3 neonatology intensive care unit. We will then be able to offer a broader scope of care for premature newborns here in the Auburn-Opelika community. This will greatly reduce the stress of being moved out of town for care. Tonight, we will hear from parents of NICU babies, some of our own team members, and even a few former NICU babies themselves. Thank you so much for joining us. Please help us in keeping every family together for many Christmases to come.
Gianni is my third kid, but we had difficulty having him. I finally got pregnant with him, super excited, all went great. But when it came to delivery, everything went fine. It was super quick. They wrapped him up, the nurse came and checked him, and immediately she called another nurse. And another nurse came and looked at him, she called someone else, and they came and looked at him, and they were like, we're gonna have to take your baby to the special NICU. He ended up getting airlifted to UAB. So he was there for 15 days, which in our world felt like forever. And we couldn't touch him for the first week. So I get to sit with him all day, but I can't hold my baby, I can't change my baby. He cries, I have to wait for a nurse to come and get him. As a parent, it hurt because, I just want to take care of my baby and I couldn't. The nurses and doctors at EAMC talked me through everything. They explained every minute of what was happening to him. I was freaking out when they took my baby away. We didn't have anywhere to stay. It came to coming up with the money for a hotel to stay with him. So we had to stay at a hotel for a few days. And then my husband had to go back to work. We didn't have any family. We didn't have any friends. I had no way to get around because I couldn't drive. Eventually the hospital helped us get into the Ronald McDonald House, but that was a few days process. And it was just stressful because I was somewhere I didn't know. I didn't have anyone to call on. I didn't have anyone to help me. We had some money, put away, saved up. We had family and friends who sent us, some money, looked out for us, made sure that we had what we needed. But not everyone has that. And, we were 2.5 hours away from home. Nobody could really come see us. And I know having a NICU here would really help families who might not be in the same situation as us. There might be, moms who don't have that support system like I do. And so she then has to make the decision, do I be with my kids at home or do I see about my baby who's in a NICU away? One being here would just take that burden off of so many families.
Dr. Glaze, the pediatrician, came in and Janie sort of thought something might be wrong, but we weren't sure. And he sat down and said James had an obstruction and that a helicopter was going to come and get him and take him to Birmingham to Children's Hospital.
And they wheeled him in this big incubator thing, and that was a little bit shocking to see after just holding him moments before. My first thought was, who's going to take care of the other children while we're gone?
I immediately went home to get all of the things we needed to go to Birmingham, and you're worried about the baby, but I was also having to make plans for who's going to stay with the other two kids.
He was born in December, so children's programs were taking place at our other two children's school. They would not understand if we were not at their children's programs.
We get a call from our oldest son, and he's expecting us to be at his Christmas program the next morning. And we're in Birmingham, it's 8 o'clock at night, and we say, of course, we'll be there. And so we sleep in Birmingham, get up, and we go to his Christmas program. But just if we had a NICU here, it would make it so much easier to take care of the kids you already have, give them care, and also be able to be with the new baby and with the mom.
I guess I didn't realize we didn't have that to begin with before we had our experience with James. I think Auburn, Opelika area would be so proud to be able to serve their community in this way, where children can be taken care of here on site and not have to go out of town, whether it's Montgomery or Birmingham.
You're first in shock that your baby's sick, but then you start thinking, what's Janie gonna do? Where are we gonna stay? Who's gonna go? Who's gonna keep the kids? When your baby's in the NICU, you see all the other babies that are there as well and how sick they are and all the care they're getting and really the miracles that are taking place every single day in that NICU unit. And I think our community is really gonna benefit from being a part of that and being able to see those miracles here.
Put yourself in the life of an expectant mother. All of a sudden, your world can get upended because the babies come in prematurely, may need specialized intensive care that doesn't exist in the East Alabama area. So in addition to the anxiety about that baby coming, you now have to worry that as soon as that baby's born, has to be whisked away, hours away to another hospital, and all of the, again, anxiety related to what's going to happen to my baby, and then what's going to happen to me. It usually catches everyone by surprise. So there's no time typically for grandparents to arrive ahead of time. It's important to have that support, and a lot of people don't have that support at that point in time. So having that all come together where you don't have to worry about your newborn being somewhere else, a parent having to go somewhere else, and having a whole community, friends, neighbors, church members, others who can help support right here locally is a game changer. Our middle child had to be delivered a month prematurely. That meant that we had to go home, pack a suitcase, which we weren't ready for, and head off to the hospital. Both her and I had a tremendous amount of concern and anxiety. Is the baby going to be okay? Is this going to work out well? What happens next? There's still so much unknown. Just knowing that at that point in time that we were in Miami, that there was a level 3 NICU right there, took away a lot of that concern and anxiety. I think that making this happen, and it will happen, is going to be a game changer for all of us in the community, and it's going to pay tremendous emotional dividends for decades to come.
Hello there again. We want to be sure everyone downloads tonight's program at the link below to check out all of our silent auction winners. We so appreciate your passion for our NICU babies and their families.
Hillary's water broke at, 31 weeks?
30 weeks.
30 weeks. We kind of knew at that point in time we were heading towards the NICU.
Very often when we needed to send a baby to the NICU, it meant that Mama was still a patient herself. And so Mama was here and sort of stuck here while baby was going down the road.
We went to the hospital at 32 weeks exactly. I was automatically having to think about, what if my babies are separated? What if one of them has to go to one hospital and the other one has to go to another, and I'm here and they're alone?
You don't have a plan for those hotel rooms, for the meals out you're gonna have to eat. And the thing people don't think about is when you've got, a full-time parent working, and then you've all of a sudden got the other parent having to go spend 24/7 in a hospital or 24/7 in a hotel. Well, now you've got childcare for your other children. There's so many costs that are not covered through insurance.
It's just draining both emotionally and financially. Parents can't afford to travel and stay in motels and eat out. Grandparents can't support them. Friends and family can't support them.
A lot of families that are stuck with a baby in the NICU for a long period of time are having to do like GoFundMe campaigns, things like that to raise money because they have to be out of work. The toll that it takes on them is pretty severe and something that we could avoid if we had a NICU at the hospital for the baby to stay in.
Having something local, again, really makes it where you can go see your baby in the NICU, take care of what you need to, and then take care of your family at home.
We definitely need, I think, an ICU here. We have an increasing number of births from year to year. We're up to close to 2,300 a year at this point in time. And we're in an area of the state that has one of the highest prematurity rates.
It was really born out of a need, and that's really how we develop any new service here, is we look at what the community needs.
If we had a NICU baby center here, parents wouldn't have to be so far from the child. They could just stay here in Auburn.
We're able to say, your baby can stay here. We can care for your baby right here.
So it's like giving them that extra security of knowing they don't have to be separated from their family or from their baby.
Having a facility here that can keep mothers and babies together, no matter what the scenario is, would be such a blessing to parents and to families here.
They could have less disruption in their family for their significant others or for other children that may be at home. And then also there's less financial burden.
Just being in your local community where you've got your church, your neighbors, the community to support you is just priceless.
Some babies don't require special care, but when they do, what a blessing to have it right here.
The equipment is expensive. The construction of the facility is expensive. We want your support. We definitely want your support, helping whether you can buy pieces of equipment, isolates, incubators, IV pumps, ventilators for premature babies, and all the things that go into providing support for these amazing little people. We need your help. We need your help making this come to a reality.
A big difference between a baby staying in our special care nursery at EAMC and a level 3 NICU is really the amount of time. Babies in our special care nursery usually are there for a couple of days, maybe a week or two. So you compare that to a stay in a level 3 NICU, the average stay is months, a minimum of many weeks. The closest NICUs we have are at least an hour away. The higher acuity NICUs are in Birmingham. And so that is overnight stays, hotel rooms, going out to eat, transportation, major issues when you're looking at months and weeks that add up to just such a large amount of time for a family. The need for a level 3 is kind of born out of two kind of data sets. One is you look at the wonderful growth that we're experiencing in Lee County and the greater service area. A lot of the growth is young families moving to town. Those young families are having babies, and that's a wonderful thing. So along with the increased birth rate, you're going to automatically see the need for babies requiring higher level of care. We also look at the data of what East Alabama Medical Center has to transport out to a higher level of care, whether that's a high-risk mom who needs to go to a high-risk facility to deliver her baby because they know in advance that that baby's going to need a higher level of care, or the baby might be born at East Alabama Medical Center and we cannot adequately care for the baby in our existing special care nursery. If you are viewing this Christmas Ball video, then you have to know what an amazing community we live in. And it's not every community where the hospital just feels the tangible support from people that live in that community. And it is a blessing to us that we at the hospital know that our community supports us and is going to support this really important growth opportunity for us. And it's us, but it's these little patients and it's families, and families make up the heart of our community. And this is the right thing for our community. It's going to allow for patients to stay in those first days and first months of their life. The families are going to be kept intact, and that's a beautiful thing for our community to support.
The earliest story I was ever told was probably that they just had so much love for me because initially they didn't get to hold me and they didn't get to have that connection whenever I was born. You know, you wait 9 months to meet something that you love so much and you thought that you would get to see them, and to have that kind of ripped away from you is really hard, especially whenever I was flown to Birmingham, Children's in Birmingham. I just can't imagine what it was like to be at the hospital
4 hours
just
after
having
birth.
given birth, and then have to see your child like get flown without anyone.
We had a little bit of distress. We had to have an emergency C-section. She was born at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was on a jet at 6:40 in the morning. Like, they made that call. So they flew a jet down from Children's Hospital, and my doctor said, you know, you're not going anywhere. So my husband had to choose between, should he stay here with his wife who's just had, you know, major surgery, or should he go be with the baby? And of course I said, you absolutely get in the car and go with you. So he and his mother went to Birmingham, and my mother stayed here with me. It is such a hardship on new parents who have babies and have to reset and kind of refocus. It would be fantastic to not have to add the stress of travel onto that as well. Having it here at home to provide those resources for those families would be such an amazing gift.
As you have all heard, the need is great. Families being separated from babies born prematurely is a true hardship, but also something we can solve together. For all who have bid on silent auction items, please remember to download the program below, and we will be in touch with winners soon regarding a pickup of your auction items. Thank you for supporting EAMC and helping us offer a broader scope of care to families. With your help, we can keep babies close at home.
Our story began with a diagnosis of monoamniotic twins. And essentially that just means that when they were in the womb, there wasn't a separation between them. And so it automatically put me into a high-risk pregnancy. And I knew from the very beginning that if they were to make the pregnancy, the duration, that they would need special care in the NICU. No one expected them to be in the NICU for 49 days. So as a family, we grew stronger together. So yeah, I mean, you have like this life outside of the NICU, and then you have this new life in the NICU, and you're trying the best you can to marry the two, and it's virtually impossible because what's going on outside the NICU is life as usual, and it's spinning out of control. And then you bring in with all those stressors into this place of inside the NICU where you really feel like, is this my reality? Am I really living this? Because it seems like it's so disconnected from outside the NICU. So your home life, and you know, I was a teacher, had 3 girls that were in school. My husband worked full time, but it was just stressful to feel like you had to manage all the moving parts, and it was the simple joys that we were able to find in just the time together. To have a facility and a staff of support that can equip them for what is to come, because who knows what that is. The value is great. It's priceless.
I'm so thankful to live and work and serve in such an outstanding community where we all know the importance of giving back, of service, of taking care of one another, and basically just doing the right thing. That's what we're here to do. We're here to love and to serve and to give, and this is a time to give. And this is a need. It's a need that impacts us all. It affects us all, and it is a way to help take care of our community at a most vulnerable time. And we're thankful for all the support that we've been given in the past and that we know will be given in the future. So I'd like to just ask you during this time, during this season of giving and of giving back, that you would consider a gift to help support this NICU program. There is no gift too small, no gift too large. Think of those things that are important to you. This is certainly important to me, to our organization, and it will greatly impact our community for years to come. So please consider giving to this outstanding cause so we can keep families and newborns together. Thank you.
My name is Charlotte Isabel, and I'm a NICU baby. I am Clay Marino, and I am a NICU baby.
My name is Abby Thomas, and I am a NICU baby.
I'm Pierce Cannon, and I'm a NICU baby.
My name is James Pate. My name is John David Pate, and we are NICU babies.
My name is Molly Thomas, and I'm a NICU baby.
I'm Kate Zuhari. I'm Lizzie Zuhari. We are NICU babies.
I'm Ansley Swirls, and I'm a NICU baby.
My name is Michael Thomas, and I'm a NICU baby.
I'm James Bowles, and I'm a NICU baby.
I'm a NICU baby.
My name is Mary Bruno, and I'm a NICU baby.
Good job! You did it!